October 21st is when a new moon in Libra will be in full effect. October 21st, 2025 is a new moon in Libra. And this is all about new beginnings, centered on relationships, balance, and harmony. It encourages setting intentions related to partnerships, negotiations, and artistic projects or personal style, while also providing an opportunity to integrate lessons learned from the recent eclipse season to establish fresh patterns and find inner balance. This celestial event asks us to consider all sides of an issue to ultimately achieve a big picture goal. This is a very powerful new moon, and by all means, when it's in Libra, you gotta remember balance is key. So, by all means, of course, my name is Joe Sky, and I'm going to be breaking down this new moon. I'm breaking it down for everyone and every single personal sign, all 12 astrological signs. And I'm going to give you guys a lot of tips, a lot of wisdom, and a lot of things like that. So, by all means, consider taking some notes or take some notes as you're commenting, if that makes sense. So, this new moon occurs in Libra. In astrology, this is a time of renewal, planting seeds, and fresh beginnings. New moons are always those kind of times where it's always about planting new seeds, setting new intentions, and of course, fresh beginnings because something new is coming. So, definitely a good time to get things going. It's in Libra, so the theme is leaning into balance, harmony, and relationships, justice, fairness, beauty, and equilibrium. This energy encourages us to look at how we relate to others, what we give versus and what we receive, and whether this scales in our relationships. So make sure, if you are with someone, you're getting love, you're sending love, they're giving back, right? So we want balance, we want equalness, right? That's what we want here. So we definitely don't want to be unbalanced. This is what it's all about, and it's super focused, especially this month, has been about that relationships. So definitely make sure that things are looking good right now, right? Businesses, who you're working for, make sure everything is, looking good for you, right? You don't want to be underpaid. This new moon is said to be a square Jupiter and part of the yod with Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, which can bring tension and opportunities for growth and higher wisdom and inner restructuring. So very interesting right now. Now, this is a potent time to set intentions, especially with relationships, romantic, business friendships, even your relation to yourself. Definitely good for working on yourself. You might ask, where do I need more fairness or reciprocity? I can't say that word. Where am I giving too much or not getting enough? Also good for aesthetic or creative intentions. How your environment, home, desk, art can reflect your inner balance. So everything around you as well. Libra rules, laws, and contracts. It's considered a favorable time to review agreements, partnership, or legal matters. If those are aligned with your highest good. But overall, of course, make sure you are definitely setting good intentions. Definitely um, focus on yourself. Doing best for yourself. And some tips I could give you is journaling. Do want to warn you, next month is going to be pretty wild with Mercury retrograde. So by all means, definitely consider journaling and meditation and really staying present with everything. Um, any intention you have, put some energy behind it because energy is what's going to, that's definitely the exchange, right? That's the powerful exchange right there with the universe. So definitely put some energy behind your intentions so that they definitely manifest, right? Or manifest faster, right? Especially if you want something, there's got to be energy behind it, right? Because if there's not much energy or build up or you're not excited about it, I don't know, right? So again, you might need to make new intentions. You might need to refocus on yourself. So this is definitely a time of planting seeds. Don't rush. This power is in quality, sincerity, and alignment. So remember that. Feel it. Let's start breaking it down for every single sign. Again, I hope you guys are doing good. For Taurus, this is involving your routine. Maybe it needs a reset, right? With this new moon landing in your sixth house of self care, health, and habits, it's time to take care of yourself. The good news is you can make it as luxurious as you like. For Gemini, you have the green light to express yourself under this new moon. Gemini, with it being in fellow air sign, Libra, this new moon is landing in your fifth house of creative expression. It is encouraging you to put yourself out there, follow your passions, and let your heart lead the way. For Cancer, this new moon happens to hit your fourth house of home and family. This sign is going to be very interesting, and with Libra being a fellow cardinal sign, it's forming a tense square to your sign. The good news is it's familiar territory for you, and that's what we'll be focusing on right now. You could be seeking more balance in your home, with family, about creating more of balanced or redecorating your home, something like that. For Leo, this new moon in Leo is ramping up your third house of communication, information, and local networks. So don't be surprised if you've been booked and busy this week. Overall, of course, it's basically a very relatively relationship focused new moon. Um, yeah. So definitely focus on your relationship. For Virgo, this is very interesting. I'm a Virgo. So this is landing in my second house of money, material security, and self worth. It is an excellent time to make some money moves or at least map out a budget. Good time to remind yourself of what you deserve and to allow yourself to get it. Libra calls for a harmony, so if your budget has been out of whack, it's time to balance that checkbook, which is actually what I've been doing lately. So this is pretty spot on. I feel like some of these signs, you're just chilling throughout this new moon. This is overall a really chill new moon. Sometimes, we definitely be going through some stuff, but this is definitely a new moon that benefits some signs, no offense, especially the Virgos. I feel like this year has been definitely a hit for them. Um, for a Libra, um, this is a big one too. Um, with the sun traversing your first house all month long, the moon is meeting up with it for this new moon. And that means hitting your first house of self and identity. This is the part that deals with self image, a personal rebrand. Prioritize yourself, let yourself shine into new beginnings, celebrate what makes you great. Enjoy this. So, fun for Libras. This is overall a really good new moon. Scorpio, with your birthday season just around, Libra season tends to be a bit somber time for you. That's because the sun and this new moon in Libra with it are moving through your 12th house of closure, endings, and the subconscious. It might be heavy, but it's giving the activations you need ahead of your fresh start coming up. Big Sagittarius, um, it's making its way through your 11th house of network and larger community. This is also the sector of your birth chart that deals with humanitarianism. So if you've been wanting to contribute to a cause, good time to get started. And for Capricorn, this new moon might feel like familiar territory for you as it moves through your 10th house of career and public image, the very house your sign is associated with. You're not the one for slowing down on the path to success. And the good news is you might just be gaining some notoriety at work. For Aquarius, don't be surprised if it hits you as this new moon activates your ninth house of travel, higher learning, and expansion. Of course, even if you aren't literally traveling, you could feel inclined to start a new course or expand your mind. So that's huge. Pisces, the last one, the Libra new moon could be vulnerable for you as it moves to your 8th house of intimacy, transformation, rebirth. You're being asked to open up to those closest to you and relate to intimacy in a new way. And considering you tend to struggle with boundaries, perhaps more balance is needed there. Overall, I would probably say this is purely a new moon for anyone who's starting fresh. If you're in a relationship, all about bringing balance, sowing some new seeds, pretty much all those things. And some signs, they have a little extra. This is a chill new moon, pretty much the same as always. I think it's the new moon that I think most people wanted. Other than that, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.